What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live show, another draw, which feels like a defeat, but it's not a defeat. Still, no defeats on the season in the league. Um, but yeah, it's uh, it's not fantastic, is it? Norbert, Malik, like you said off air, it's basically the same, and it's literally the same. Because I think we have 2 wins out of our last 7, if I'm not mistaken. So it's another draw against a team we should be beating, but we cannot. So that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about injuries, some weird comparisons post game, and also a little bit about City that's coming up on Wednesday. But first off, how are you guys doing?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I wasn't even happy when we scored. So, like yesterday, I was like, okay, yeah, of course it's a draw. Like, what else would it be? I woke up really, I don't know, really weird after this game, and my team in Hungary lost, and at least the girls, the handball girls, won. So we are in the semifinals of the Euros. That's good, but yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm in a stressful moment. I have lots of deadlines, and I wanted some release from Juve in the weekend, but yeah, that didn't happen. And like you said, Norbert, when we scored the equalizer, I wasn't like, you know, I just like
Yeah.
came too late, But yeah, it was a game we needed to win, but another draw. Get the coloring books out because we're drawing here. So
Yeah, I mean, we will talk about some positives, which I this season always try to find. And maybe there were some, but it definitely got overshadowed by everything. In that game, the result, the performance, the injuries, just everything basically. That first half, especially, I think, and the attitude of just everybody involved. At one point in the game, I was like, this. Nobody's actually focused on playing the game anymore. It's more about a little bit of complaining. Getting frustrated. I saw players kind of beefing with Bologna players, and I was like, man, we're not playing
Yeah.
Inter at home. Like we're playing Bologna. Um, but let's start off with the beginning. Let's start off. Let's start off with Cambiasso because he's out. Um, I had the same thing. I think last season, almost last year, um, and I have no medical care. I just let it heal. Like I just walked it off basically, and it did hurt for about 2 full weeks. Like really hurt. And then I played, but like I don't play professional, so I played and I still felt it. So I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be out for 2 to 3 weeks, which is probably the end of the year. I think. Um, it it's pointless for me to say we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him because this replacement, and that's not me knocking him down because it's not his fault. He's who he is. Um, he's absolutely not ready. Maybe he will never be ready. But Rui um, is gonna play. Because McKennie's not there, so you cannot even slot in McKennie. And mix it up a little bit. You're just in this situation where you're gonna need to play Rui, and you need to hope for the best. I saw the comments he had under his Instagram post. I will never get. I don't like Danilo as a player, but not once did I sit there and be like, you know what, I'm gonna need to call him out on Instagram or whatever in the comments and the DMs. That's just ridiculous. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help him because he's gonna play. So I don't know. What do you make of that injury? Because we are getting like actually like injuries for basically everything at this point.
Yeah. Rui is, like he's not a Champions League starter or even not even a rotational player. But we need him, and potentially maybe we'll play as a left back or something, which I don't know which one is scarier. Rui can do a job against certain opponents and certain wingers. It's not his fault that he has to be with the squad. So I despise those people who write anything bad or negative to him on his Instagram. That's disgusting. And so yeah, Cambiaso is like, it's really unfortunate, and I hope he's gonna play as soon as possible. And yeah, I don't. It's horrible. Like potentially having Rui for game after game after game is not too good, but it is what it is, and we can't do anything about it. So yeah, let's see how he does, or maybe well, I don't know.
I can't say I'm the biggest fan of Rui, but at the end of the day, he's our player. We have to back him, and you never know. Maybe this run of games is gonna boost his confidence. Maybe he can improve and whatnot. But yeah, Cambiaso is one of our best players, and losing him is, it was up there with losing Bremer. So now we don't have both of them for a bit. But yeah, I hope Cambiaso can be back in 3 weeks. But with how our injury record is going this season, 3-week injuries turn into 3-month injuries. So I genuinely hope that's not the case, and we can have him back as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm not too confident for the game against City. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, we will talk about City at the end of the show a little bit. But obviously missing Cambiaso is massive for us. Like somebody said, you lose a playmaker, because you do lose a playmaker. A playmaker we badly need, and also defensively, you just got him. Like you got worse, and like it's not that lately. Like we had good games defensively, but again, I had a feeling it was more we were set up pretty well, I think. But right now, like individually, if you can skip that midfield, that back line is extremely shaky. Like we've seen it yesterday. That was my point last in the summer. Remember when I got really mad that you missed out on Calafiori, then Todibo. I was like, it's a need, it's a must, and we didn't do that. And I don't know, people got convinced that it wasn't a priority. It was a priority. When I watch, like, Kalulu is doing well so far. I think better than I could have imagined. I thought Danilo had a good game yesterday, like compared to his usual standards. But
Yeah.
I'll keep saying it. As good as Gatti has played for his standard, it overall it's not good enough. Like I'm sorry, like I will never be convinced by that player. Like if he's a squad player, okay, I guess. But that's like, look at that backline. Come on, Man City in their form still. Like if you line up with Danilo, Gatti, Kalulu, and Rui, it's gonna be game over at halftime. Like it's just gonna happen. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Like you said, Malik. It's pointless to go into. I don't even know how you can do that. Just go on social media and just like if you tweet something out, I don't like that player. He's bad. Fine, I guess. But to directly tag them, I'm like, what's the point? But it is what it is. He's gonna play, and we're gonna need to deal with it. He's gonna need to deal with it. He's gonna fix up. He's gonna need to fix up basically. And I mentioned the back line. Savon probably gonna play. So maybe that's a solution. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what Motta will do. But that's where the problems all started, I think, yesterday. Not that we were playing well up to that point. We were still getting dominated. But that, I don't know, first 30 minutes, 35 minutes, basically, that was really bad, wasn't it? Like,
Unwatchable.
Yeah,
Very.
it was. We couldn't keep hold of the ball. We couldn't string two passes together. Like Bologna were just bopping us around, keeping the ball, getting in behind quite too easy, in my opinion. The goal we conceded, oh boy, actually the two goals, but that first one, the space and the miscommunications were so glaring that I was like, woof, like that's bad. So what is the, like, Koopmeiners say post game, we need to play with the same intensity we did the last 20 minutes or so for 90 minutes. I get it. We all agree with it. And we should be starting with that intensity, you know. But to do that 90 minutes with 13 outfield players is impossible. Like, it's just impossible. You know, I've seen players huffing and puffing in minute 40. Like, that's the situation right now. However, we start games extremely slow, and that's kind of the result. You know, like Dobiero said post game, he said teams are not scared to play us right now because they can come at us. You know, and he said that based on that last minute corner. He said teams are scared. They're not scared to do that, and that's why they come at us, and we cannot match the pace right now.
Yeah, like how we played with the Koopmeiners and Thuram as midfielders, and then Yildiz in the middle, up in front of them. That's how we should start the games potentially. Or if not Thuram, then Locatelli. But one of them has to sit. I'm sorry, it's just too safe. It's just too basic. It's just too non-playmaker. You know, like there's no playmaker when they both play, and the Koopmeiners is in front of them. I'm sorry, like we can't keep playing a draw. We need to get points. We are sixth, or I don't know even if we are sixth still, but like we we need to start winning games. Okay, I understand against City we can try to be more safe, but like just grow some balls. Like it was clearly visible how much better we were when Yildiz was in the middle and the Koopmeiners a little bit more to the back. So it needs to change, or otherwise it's going to be really hard to make even the top four, which is like crazy to say. But yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I think it's been obvious the last 10 games that at least some tweaking needs to be changed in the approach. Like I've never ever been a fan of Yildiz wide on the left, and I don't see Koopmeiners as a 10. I see him as an 8. So yeah, play him deeper, put Yildiz in the middle. Even like remember the first 2 games when Yildiz played as a 10, he looked incredible, and we looked more fluid than we do now. Okay, granted, we played Como and Verona, but now we're still playing like teams we should beat, and we look very static. So I think it's worth a tweak, So I hope that's the case going forward. Maybe we're not going to see that against City. I doubt that, but at least against Venezia is a game should be winning. So
yeah, but my biggest problem is that these were the games streamed together. For example, the Lecce. Like, why not try something against Lecce? Like, what can happen? Like why play it safe? Exactly. So if he didn't change after that, why would he change after this? But I don't know. We can only hope, to be honest. Like maybe, I don't know, Koopmeiners scoring and the Yildiz playing really good with Koopmeiners in the back. Maybe that would. I don't know. It's just I hope something will change because this is horrible.
I mean, like he needs to make a change. I like you said, forget about the transfer window. Like it's done. Like we cannot change. Like, we agree on so many things. On Douglas Luiz. It's nothing to do with the player. It's just the needs we had at the time. Like, but we've done it. It is what it is. When I saw a discussion saying that, but you spend so much and now you're gonna move Cope a bit deeper to play Yildiz down the middle. I don't care. You spent that money. It's not working. There's no point to try to prove your point that it's not working. Like, it's not working. You could have spent 1 billion. It's not working. If you have something else that's working better, which I think it is, then you need to change it. You absolutely need to change that. It looks better when Koopmeiners can play a bit deeper and can pop up a couple of times. It looks better when Yildiz can roam inside. If that means Weah needs to play on the left, and even Mbangula, who deserves more minutes in my opinion, because he gets a lot of stick, but he's too slow, he's too safe. I'm sorry. Like, I'm looking Weah. He has pace. He doesn't use that. He's pointless. I was watching him play yesterday. He offers nothing. Then he has the pace, but he doesn't use that pace to his advantage or our advantage. Then I'd rather have a player like Mbangula out there who plays it safe, but is smart with the ball. He's smart with the ball. Then I'd rather have that.
sorry, Bangula's goal contribution per minute is insane. So yeah, he deserves to play more.
He does. He does. I'd like to see more of him. Like when he won that, I don't know, endless amount of games where he didn't start, I was quite confused because
He has
I
the balls.
I personally don't see anything wrong with him. I like how he gets
Yeah,
very direct, very to the point. I like players like that.
yeah, he has the balls. He shoots. He finds the way to shoot.
Hmm.
I like that. And well, can't do anything to be honest right now.
Yeah, he's bad, Timothy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like 2 years in, actually not 2 years in, like just his entire
Yeah.
career, he's been
Oh,
described that he can play multiple position.
Yay!
Bernardeschi
But
apparently
how?
could play multiple position. He couldn't. Like he
Yeah,
he stood in multiple positions. He offered nothing in any of those. And with Timothy Weah, he offers close to nothing. I'm sorry, you know. Like I said, and I'm not saying that Imbangula is a world beater or any of those things. However, he keeps it simple, but it's effective a lot of the times, you know. So
yeah,
maybe that's a solution on that left hand side, basically, whatever, you know. But something needs to give, you know. Like I said, Motta cannot do anything about the injuries or the recovery time. That's out of his control, I'm assuming, you know, unless something insane happens on training, which I doubt, you know. Um, so that's out of his control. That the fitness level is not top for these players after so many weeks, it's also out of his control, in my opinion, because they're playing a lot of games, a lot of minutes, basically. That he needs to bring in next gen players, that's all also out of his control. But changing things, you know, tactically, that's in his control. Even yesterday, the subs, it might be like we drew the game at the end 2-2, you know, which is still not good. But the subs were, in my opinion, way too late. Like, it was too late. Like you could even at halftime. I think everybody at going into halftime
yeah,
was okay. Fajoli, he was out there. I forgot he was out there. Bad, really bad. You know, we are offered nothing, and they all came out in the second half, and I was like, nothing is gonna change. Like that first half was so bad individually. Some of these players, they were not gonna flip that switch in the second half. Also because I don't think they're that talented to do that. You know, so that decision, in my opinion, was very weird. It was very weird. You know, but it is like it is what it is, I guess. You know, but Malik, is he is he stubborn? Like, is he just stubborn because he admitted, like I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago, we said that I know that Koopmeiners is not really playing in the ideal position, but because of the injuries and stuff like that, I have no choice. But he has shown in the last 2 games he has a choice if he drops him deep a little bit.
like I'd get it if we have a shortage in that position, but in the number 10 position, Yildiz can play there, and we're stacked with wingers for the most part, even if some of them aren't the best, but we are. So there is a solution to that. So I don't know, maybe as you said, maybe because the price tag, he wants to play him in that position. He brought him in to play him in that position, and he wants to stick with it until it works. But clearly, it's not working. So I really see the solution, like to a lot of our problems, is playing Coop deeper and playing Yildiz as a 10. Like I'm very firm. I'll die on that hill. You know.
yeah. Because it's not like Cope is completely useless defensively.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not. No, no. He's
yeah,
a great player, great on the
yeah,
ball and everything. But I just don't see him as a. It's hard to watch him as a 10 if you understand what I mean.
yeah, yeah. He's just, but it's also natural for him to drop deeper to get the ball. So
Hmm.
what's the point of playing a 10 who's not at the 10 but like deep? And unfortunately, Fajoli is completely useless as well. I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Wait for and people, I will read out your chats in a sec. If you want to have, or no, I will say it in a minute. Um, Alpha Charlie, remember when I got? I don't know if anyone of you were on that live. I thought last season or so, and everybody was calling him out because I was being harsh to him, on him basically. I think he's a good player, but he has been overhyped by the fans, or like
Yeah,
you can you can hype the potential if that makes any sense. You can say, "Oh, I think he can do this, this, and this in the future." I'm perfectly fine with that, you know. But what he actually has done since he joined the club, oh, Lazio took the lead. What he
Oh,
actually had, which is not good for us, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
What he actually has done, like on the pitch for us, is good. It's really bad. You know, it's
Yeah.
like there's no in between, really. You know, and he had a season off basically, which is also not a help. You know, it's not a help. He's not playing a lot. It's like he was bad yesterday. Like he was a non-factor. He was just a ghost throughout. I don't know how many minutes did he play. 70, 75. He was just really bad. You know, throughout the entire game. Offered absolutely nothing. Oh my god, what a goal! He offered absolutely nothing, and it like it cost us. Like it really did cost us because you were playing with a man down at that moment in time, you know. So um, that's also not going anyone's way. Like we already have limited options, and then you have a player who's just completely out of form. I guess who's completely offering nothing positive to the team right now, and like it just adds to more of the already struggles we have, basically, you know. But it like I don't even know what to say because like you said, Norbert, off air, and I said it's the same thing every single week. Like the issues are the same issues, you know, and we've
Yeah.
talked about it and we've called out Motta for it, which you need to do. What you don't need to do is call for his head already. Like you can do that. Like I'm not saying you cannot do that. Basically, you can do that, but I think that's going overboard. Like it's too many draws, like way too many. I tweeted out yesterday, if we lost 2 more games and we won 3, I think everybody will be more happy. To my shock, some people didn't, you know, grasp the concept of simple math, you know, but that's a
Yeah.
different topic, I guess. But if we were sitting here and we would have lost 2 more games, but we won 3 more games, um, what was that? 6 more points, I guess, out of the top of my head, basically. Everybody would be much better, or 4 more points, you know, whatever. Like if how many points do we
More
have?
points. That's the
27.
point. Yeah.
Do we have 27? I didn't even know what I tweeted. I think I said 3 wins and 2 L's. How many points do we
Mm,
have? 27. So let's say we would have
uh,
31.
yeah,
Everybody
127.
like, would anyone really be bothered about the defeats? Because nobody is hyped because we're undefeated. If that makes sense, that was my point. Like
Yeah.
nobody is excited that we're undefeated because you know that we drew too many games. You know, so if we lost 2 more but won 3 more, would anyone really care about that? I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't,
Yeah,
because
it's a fun and games. Like, okay, you're unbeaten, ooh, but like if you have less points than if you would lose 2 games and win more, like it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, we can finish seventh and drawing 20 games, and okay, we didn't lose.
Yeah, yeah. Like like a lot of things need to be taken into context. Like this unbeaten run is like, oh, we're still undefeated. We haven't lost a game in 23 Serie A games. But when you look deeper and see the amount of times we probably drew more times than we won. I'm sure.
oh
It's
yeah,
like
for
it's a
sure.
bit, it's mad. Like I'm like at this point, I'm genuinely curious to see how many draws we have by the end of the season. Like, because
Last season we have 14, which is also a lot.
yeah, we're almost there. We have 9 in the league. If you're including the Champions League, we have 11.
Uh,
That's crazy.
is it silly to think that maybe if we would lose 1 game, then we potentially become better after that?
I don't know.
Uh,
Or
I think that's more of a cliche thing. Oh, we needed that defeat to actually start clicking, you know, type of thing.
yeah,
We
yeah.
need more than just a defeat. Like,
Huh.
we need a like. I tweeted out that stat, or somebody tweeted out that stat. The
would
passes to
come on
Vlahovic,
Wednesday.
for example. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone
yeah,
saw that stat. You know, from
yeah,
Conceição
yeah,
and Yildiz. And I know the jokes
Bad in
were,
5.
nobody wants a pass to Vlahovic. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
Like Conceição was not running out there thinking, Vlahovic cannot trap a ball. I'm not gonna pass it. They're not thinking like that. These players.
Exactly.
But the fact that it doesn't happen is a worry, because that tells you, like I said a couple of weeks ago, the wingers are very predictable. We know what they're gonna do. There's not a lot of cohesion at all. There's no play. There's no 1-2s, give and goes. There was actually nothing happening right up there, which makes up predictable. Perin had the most passes to Vlahovic. That's insane. And his kicking game was absolutely rubbish by Perin, by the way. Like, and he still had the most passes to Vlahovic. That's not good for anyone, because you don't get the striker involved. The players become, everything becomes more predictable, in my opinion. Like, it's a big worry. You know, that stat, I looked at it and I was like, it's a worry. And you can add context of Vlahovic was marked and so on, but it's not one. Like, it was 3-4 players who cannot give him the ball. Like, then it's more about just, he was marked, you know? Because Vlahovic, I don't think he had a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, he actually got involved as much as he could, and was good at it. You know, that run towards the end, you know, he squeezed probably everything out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Kept his head, you know, fresh. A minute, I don't know, was it 91 to pick out in Bangula? Like, you could have easily just threw it into the box and whatever, you know, happens type of thing. But at the end of the day, I think everybody can see there's nothing up top. You know, I think post game, he said, I give my players a lot of freedom. I think too much freedom at this point. You know, it's too much. When I saw that stat, I'm like, it's too much. You know, there needs to be some sort of connection, you know, link up play, and right now that's just completely missing. You know, it's missing. That doesn't get fixed with adding McKennie, Douglas Luiz, and Nico Gonzalez into the team. Like, I wish I would, but it's not the case. You know, it's not the case. So let's see. I missed every single chat, people, so apology. If you want me to read something out, put it in again. Otherwise, I need to scroll up completely, and it will just derail the entire show. If you have something to say, put it in now, and I will read it out. Top 4 is going to be hard this season for us, honestly. I said in the Discord group, if we don't win, what did I say, 6 out of our next 10 games in Serie A, it's done. It's not going to happen, because yes, the other ones are going to drop points, but so are we. So we're going to need to win 6 out of the next 10 in the league, for sure. Interesting your opinion on Vlahovic. Obviously, he's a player who can get to another level with Juve. Most likely will develop another team. Would you keep him for next season? No, I've said it already. If you are of the opinion, Motta and the club, that the costs are not, you know, outweighing the production, which is obviously obvious, and also Motta's like, I can do much more with a different type of player, then you move on. Like, you don't hinder the player, don't hinder the team, the coach, whatever. So I don't have any issues with that. But if you move him on, you need to make the right decision.
And also, he needs a stable relationship, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know. That I don't think anyone at the club can help him with.
Yeah, but honestly, it depends on the contract, on the extension, and if Motta wants to keep him, So,
do you guys expect some serious moves in January or a couple of patches? I don't expect serious moves.
Antonio Silva.
Yeah, again.
From what money?
Milan Skriniar.
Yeah, so patches and rubbish. It's all going to be that we won't qualify for Champions League next year. What do we do in the end? Sack Motta, Giuntoli players, all of them, or just wait another failed season? We will talk about that if we need to talk about that. You know, it's December, you know, and like I said, it might switch. Other teams might completely collapse as well, because Fiorentina is on a crazy run. I want to say they have played nobodies. We played nobodies and we didn't win, you know. So I cannot really say that, but they still need to play the big team. So points are going to be dropped. However, we need to look at ourselves right now. We are dropping too many points. What the others are doing is kind of irrelevant for us right now. We need to start winning. That's it. And if Fiorentina win, good. If Fiorentina don't win, even better. But right now, we need to find a way to win games. Um, okay, I saw earlier on a comment I wanted to read out, but I completely lost it. I have no idea where it is right now. Let me see. Let me scroll up. No, I don't see it anymore. So apologies. But yeah, that's that. You know, the game. It's done. It's over. The positive. Anyone want to?
Koopmeiners scoring,
Yeah,
I
Koopmeiners
guess.
scoring, kickstarting his form, hopefully. Unbeaten run continues.
And maybe for Motta, seeing how Yildiz and Yildiz playing good in the middle and Koopmeiners a little back,
That,
maybe that could be.
that's only a positive if we see it in the next game.
Yes.
So
But
not a
other
lot of
than that,
positive.
yeah, not a lot of positives. There's like more negatives actually. We fall back behind, more injuries to one of our best players. Yeah, that we didn't win. So
Besides the
more
goal,
negative.
Koopmeiners played well yesterday. I thought. You know, he
He
set up
did, yeah.
Vlahovic.
Yeah.
I think 2 times. Like he
That
played like
pass was amazing. I love
Like
that.
those passes, that goal, that pass to Vlahovic is what we bought him for. So it's good
that's
to
what he
see
did
that.
at Atalanta as well. Like
Yeah,
that goal he scored was actually copy paste. You know, that's even at Azad. That's the goals he scored a lot. You know,
hmm
Yeah.
came in very late because even yesterday he came in extremely late into the box. You know, but
I should play deeper because he could do more of those late runs.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because it's hard to mark those players who come in late, I guess. So
I actually want to give Danilo a lot of credit for that goal because that was
yeah,
finally somebody making that overlap, and
yeah,
he came also from very far, you know,
yeah.
to do that overlap. So credit to him as well, you know, because it was not happening enough in the second half. Actually, just period. It's not like early on the season we had a lot of PSV. I keep saying it on that left hand side. That PSV game, you know, it was constant, you know, overlaps, cutting inside, you know, it was just a lot for PSV to handle, and I haven't seen it ever since, you know. So
Mhm.
I don't know that positive. I don't even know the other ones. I don't know. Savana's back, I guess, and it's not me to say oh he's Cambiasso or something, but like he intercepted the ball well, played it straight into Vlahovic in stride. Like Vlahovic didn't need to control it, wait for it. You know, he just could run with it basically. Good pass. So good for him, I guess. Happy he's back. I'm assuming. You know. Yeah. That's it. You know, try to be positive. That's kind of it basically. You know, it's reaching. If we're being completely honest, we're reaching right now. Um, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's move on to the final part of the show. I'm gonna do my preview for City, obviously. Who do we play on the weekend? It's a Sunday, right? Probably.
Venezia. We play them
Venezia.
on Saturday, I think.
What?
No, wait. I might be. No, no, no. No, wait. Hold on. I
It
might
could
be.
be. It could be.
We play them Saturday. Yeah.
What time?
Seven.
Say it again.
8:45 Italian time.
Ugh. Okay. If we don't beat Venezia at home, I might be absolutely done. But
They
um,
bought.
Venezia first, City first, who are probably in a worse form than us. Like I think they also won 2 in 10, but they lost I don't know 5 of them. So it's even worse, I guess. I've watched the second half against Palace. That was bad. Like it wasn't good. Like um, I don't know what are the expectations of that game because I stand by that, and even more so right now. If when we didn't beat Villa, I said we are in trouble in the Champions League. I stand by that, you know, because I believe we can easily lose against City, and we can easily go to Bruges and not win against Benfica. Like that's actually very realistic, and I don't know if 10 points are enough. Maybe I don't know. I think we're in trouble. I think we're in trouble in the Champions League. But Man City, what do we need to expect from that game?
lucky win.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm really not optimistic for that game. So
Yeah.
I think their style of play is gonna outweigh us. They have the better players. We have a depleted squad. Yeah, they want their form back. I don't know. Nothing that I see from like how we play and like recently suggests that we could win. I really hope I'm proven wrong, but I hate to be the downer here. I'm usually not, but yeah, I don't see a win or a draw.
Maybe Gatti will mark Haaland out of the
That's the
game.
game. I hope so. It would be a funny meme to have on Twitter for years.
Yeah.
That's a game where I'm like, just go for it. We need every single point. I get it, but
Mm.
I already have a bad feeling in my Champions League qualification. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, man, it could be a very
Paris
long day.
Saint-Germain is 4 points below us. How are
Yeah.
they gonna make the top 24?
Oh, they're in trouble as well. They're
Yeah,
in massive trouble.
PSG have they lost like what four games?
Yeah, they're
or
in
something?
massive trouble. You know, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could risk genuinely not qualify, not even for the.
Real Madrid also is not that good,
Yeah,
No,
but they'll
they
eventually. Yeah, but
they have easy
yeah,
games. You know, I think.
they play Salzburg and stuff. So.
Yeah, and they have just more quality than us. You know, they will
Yeah,
figure it out.
and
We have nothing. Douglas Luiz trained with the group today. I don't know what that means because he was
Yay.
like he's not a player anyone was really missing. It's just more about okay, we have an option at least. Like we
Yeah.
have an option. McKennie could potentially just about make it, which is also irrelevant. If that's the case, then it's more about Venezia as well. But like they have more players. That midfield is not good from Man City. It's really not good. I don't rate Doku, for example, but Savinho hasn't scored this season. Like all things that can change on Wednesday. I don't think that backline of Man City is playing well. I think you can get at Walker. I think you can actually get something out of that. But it's still Man City. If they have their even 45 minutes and the way we've been playing, it can be over at halftime. You're not coming back against them like you did against Bologna. So I'm just going into the game with no expectations at all, and that's a very
just
long
hoping
time.
for the best. Yeah, like, I'm not expecting the best, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, basically, yeah. About
For me,
Champions,
it's weird. For me, it's like it depends how we start. Who are the starters and how are we lining up. Like if we're lining up with how we said it would be the best, then I would want to see a win, a victory. If not, then lucky whatever draw. 1 point is enough. But yeah,
Yeah, like I know we need as many points as we can get, and ideally we'd need a win. But like against City, I would take a draw. Honestly.
someone is saying 8 points we have at the moment are very likely to be enough. I mean, look at who's behind us, and is likely to overtake. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
Goal difference plays a role. I don't know. I don't know about going forward. Just stay compact and pray something good happens up front. We tried to stay compact yesterday and we got smoked. By the,
yeah,
like just absolutely smoked. With the goals. It was just too quick for us, and we had absolutely no idea what was happening. That's just a reality. We had no idea what happened with the 2 goals. I think everybody stood like if you watch the replays, the players were just looking at each other and were saying like, "What the hell just happened? Like, what just happened?" Because players were in acres of space. With one flick on the ball, they had acres of space.
yeah.
And with the goal difference, I think away goals count more or something, if I'm not
oh, that's
mistaken.
the thing.
I think away goals
I didn't know
count
that
more
was the thing.
because when we won against Leipzig and we scored 3, we had the same like goal difference as somebody else, but we were up because we scored 3 away goals. So
Hmm.
it's
So they
something
brought
about
back
that.
the away goal rule in a way.
Basically, like that's at the time I saw. So the away goal rule is still a thing, basically.
Hmm.
Before we wrap it up, I will read out the standings because somebody asked that a couple of minutes ago. Lazio won. Lazio did beat Napoli, which means that Atalanta are leading. Inter 34 points, Napoli 32, Inter 31, game in hand against Fiorentina. Fiorentina 31 as well. Well, game in hand against Inter. Lazio 31 as well. And then it's us 27. Milan 22, also with a game in hand, I think, against Bologna. And Bologna also have 22
Yeah.
points. Empoli out of the blue, 19 as well. And Roma got out of that relegation battle with that win yesterday. But yeah, so that means we are 7 points at the top of the league of Atalanta, who lost 3 games this season. And that was the point I was trying to make yesterday. But again, math, I'm not fantastic at math, but well, some people are absolutely not good at it as well. Because, like I said, we drew 9 games. If you lost 2 of them, you know, let's say you won, let's say you won 8 games, which gives you 4 more points. That's what I was trying to say. We put you on 31. It was 3 points of Atalanta. Yes, you lost 2 games, but would anyone really care about that? Nobody would care
No,
about
they're
that.
closer to the top.
Napoli are 2 points off the top. They lost 3 games this season.
Mhm.
Like, it's too much. Like, it's just too much. We only have 6 wins. Like, we only have 6. Verona are 18. They won 4 games. And we won 6. You know, so that's the issue. It's just a draw. Yeah, it's the way we play as well. But, you know, if you won 2 more games, and look at the points we dropped, you know, Bologna, okay, the game, but like Parma, Cagliari late, you know, Empoli, you should be beating Empoli, you know. These are games that you should be turning into wins. Like the Inter game, we probably should have lost. Like yesterday, it's a game we should have lost, basically, but somehow we didn't, you know. But it is what it is. We move. I'm gonna wrap this one up, people. I will be back live on Tuesday to preview that City game. Let's see what Motta has to say. Let's see what squad we have available, what squad City have available as well, because I think they had some problems as well. So we'll see how that will go. But Norbert, Malik, thanks for joining, talking about another draw. You know,
Always a pleasure.
the good news is, or the bad news, there will be no show on Thursday because I'm out. However, there will be a show on Saturday, which can be fantastic or it can be absolutely depressing. Let's see. Let's see what they will serve us up on Saturday and on Wednesday. But that's it, people. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.